Yo, what is good, my anime fave? What is good, yo? With Skate the Infinite, I had to play on this map. Was seeing what Adam actually wears and what he likes to go by, which is a Matador. And what better place on Tony Hawk to play than this one that has somewhat of a need for a Matador, right? Like it would be nice to actually have one here on this level. Anyway, we definitely are getting some ridiculously hype understanding of just who is way more capable of doing things than others. With one of the biggest things we learned this week is with how oops ooh with how he with at sorry the way Adam does his uphill like transfer move. There was no way to like really know if he could actually do it, because not only has he not skated in forever and been like excited to go against people, but I'm guessing by the time he actually made um, this competition, he made people go against each other. By the way that the organization has documented supposedly how many people he has beaten alone, like in the case of like how many he's injured more people than you can count on your hands and your toes, which is kind of crazy to think about in the grand scheme of just how many people that is and how many people are still like either A, recovering, or B, like never skateboarding again because of this Adam guy. So I'm not surprised that the kid with the cat like ears and all that stuff doesn't want them necessarily fighting this battle. Not only are they in a position where they can get completely destroyed by Adam, because the prize that Adam wants for racing and not apologizing is to race against his buddy. And his buddy, of course, accepts it because now I'm thinking about it, even if our main character uh, loses, I'm guessing he would want to go against him anyway if he did him the same way he does do him in this week's episode, which is pretty nutty, man. Like, Adam is a freak on the skateboard, okay? And it's not so much like I didn't expect it. It's more or less the way he went about doing it was so sick. So let's talk about everything Adam did, because everything he did was literally worth being a highlight in itself this week's episode. So not only does he go into uh, this really disrespectful beginning of the whole entire episode, he pretty much showcased how fast he truly is, not only on foot, but uh, straight up just after hopping on and pushing his skateboard, just by the way the approach he takes, there's not a lot of people that are touching him, right? He straight up pulled out a cigarette, starts smoking it, starts talking about why he likes cigarettes and that tobacco hates humanity and stuff like that. So he pretty much is trying to put himself in the same position as tobacco, in the case of just like taking out humanity and having a wicked taste about it, like especially when he sees that anybody he goes against, he wants to savor the taste of them. So by letting our main guy go forward in front and have this hope of winning, snuffing that out and taking that away from him was the big like it was like seasoning for him, right? So he's a very, very interesting individual, but at the same time, it's pretty clear that whatever he winds up doing at the end of the show, he could change quite a bit and be like one of the best coaches of all time, but instead here we are and we're watching him destroy the skaters that he seemingly wants to build up, right? Like he wants skaters to be good. That's why he wouldn't mind giving them advice so he can snuff them out and destroy them himself. So that's just the type of person we're dealing with. Skateboard Dio is probably the most scariest Dio because seemingly no one really has all that much power to fight back against him. And not to mention, he kind of started the play, so anybody who was here was rooting for him to win, knowing just kind of like his background and his history as a legendary skater and this love hug that he performs that winds up not even like really being any contact. Like the first thing he does where he connects their skateboards together, like bruh, that alone would have took me out of the game. So it was cool to see our main character land the rail slide though, but overall this was a pretty easy win for this guy, Adam, and I am sure we're going to see um, a great match next week. But the one thing I want to leave you guys with when it comes down to this show, when it comes down to my overall feelings of not only this week's episode, but just for the series as a whole, I don't want the red haired guy to be like a Krillin in this show, right? Like, I hope he gets just as good, if not better, to be able to compete against the snowboard guy, or at least get as much attention as him in the grand scheme of wanting people wanting to race him, right? Because right now he just seems like, oh, this is the comic guy. He's not really good at skateboarding. He's really there for the main guy who's a snowboarder and hasn't been training, like working on it his whole life skateboarding. But since he worked hard snowboarding, he's better than any skateboarder, even his best friend, which I don't want it to be a rivalship between them in the case of like one of them leaves the other and tries to go and becomes better, but I just don't want them to sideline either one of these characters. But with that being said, everybody, hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you in the next one. Peace.